What's up, guys? Jeremy Conn here. It is the Lowdown. It's all brought to you by Pickdawgz.com. Appreciate you guys checking this out. Please click the like and subscribe button. That helps us out. And if you click the notification button, that will help you out. I always talk about my inner circle, so the concrete inner circle. If you text inner circle to that number, you will find out more about this. If you like making big bets, last night would have been a perfect night to jump aboard, as I just absolutely destroyed the books last night. And yeah, I mean, look, so with the plays I posted on the site, I went 5-1. Well, I should say technically went 9-1 because the 4 player props I gave out with Thursday Night Football, all of them hit. And so going 4-0 there, if you bought that play for $24.99, you went 5-0. And then the bad part about it was even on this show earlier this week, I talked about how much I liked A.D. Mitchell, and then he catches that first pass for 10 or 11 yards early in the game, and you're like, oh my God. And then he gets targeted a ton, and he proceeded to have the worst day for a wide receiver in the hit. Like, I don't know how many drops. And look, some of those balls were a little bit more difficult to catch. Fields left a few behind him. But as a receiver, you got to make that catch, buddy. So, yeah, that was rough. And, again, couldn't find some of the sites I was at, there were no player props on. I didn't see if it popped up on maybe what you guys were using, and you could do the A.D. Mitchell one. But, yeah, but again, had the under in the Patriots game, had ODU. We talked about that. Ended up loving Purdue, the Cornell over, the Pittsburgh, West Virginia under. I called everything to a T. The only things I got wrong, and including the NHL, where I've talked about the heater I've been on in the NHL, I've already, after starting off, I think 1-4 in the NHL. Now I'm up near the top of the leaderboard on that. So things are going well, but yesterday was a day to be with the inner circle because I just absolutely slaughtered the board. And if I were going to tell you, let me see, and this isn't even including the prop plays that I went 4-0 in. Yesterday I would have won, it's 12, 17. I shouldn't say would have, you would have. 12, 17, where are we at? 21, 24, 2, 4, that, yeah, so I was up 24 units total because, so on the plays I gave out, it was Old Dominion as my top play as a 7-unit play, Patriots, Jets under 5, under Pitt, West Virginia, those are both 5-unit plays, 4 units on Cornell and Lafayette to go over, 3 units on Calgary, and then I had 2 units on Purdue, the Cavs, the over in the Jazz game, and the Capitals, Panthers under. They split 2-2. So, again, just overall, and I did not put the Caps-Panthers game up on the site. It was something I liked, but I didn't make it a premium play. But, yeah, overall, just an excellent night and just the way that you want to go into starting this weekend. And there's a lot that I love. I think this is one of the toughest NFL cards that we've had all year long. I do have my best bet up, and I'm just going to tell you, once you see the best bet, you're going to look at it and go, why did I pay for this? It's going to win. They're going to win and cover. So it's a vomit play of all vomit plays, and I think this team wins outright and covers that spread. As an underdog, if you win outright, you're covering the spread. So that is my best bet that's up already over at Pickdawgz.com. Now, let me get into some of the other stuff here. I'll throw some player props out, how I'm feeling about this game. I love a ton on Saturday. You will get a freemium from me. It's a play that I talked about that lands in a system that, we've mentioned it plenty of times here before. As far as some of the other stuff from yesterday, like in writing up player props with the player props I gave out, the Trevion Henderson touchdown, Mac Hollins over, Breece Hall over, Mason Taylor under. And I know the first play of the game when Mason Taylor gets a reception, you're like, that son of a bitch doesn't know what he's talking about. But I don't keep track of the prop plays because I give them out for free of what my record is. I got to be honest, like, I'm not even trying to be, what's the right word to use? Like, I'm not trying to be braggadocious or, like, full of myself. I mean, you guys can always go back and look because the plays are up there, but you're not going to be able to see the prop plays, the people that purchased them or the guys that bought, the 3-day passes, the daily passes, or bought that game will see it. But going back to the World Series and in the baseball playoffs where I hit well over 70% on prop plays, and I think in the NFL I'm actually doing even better. I think I've only had 2 losing nights on prop plays. I had one night where I went 1-3, and another night where I went 1-2. Somebody else can correct me, but it's been 4-0, 3-1, 3-1, 3-1, 4-0, 3-1, like nonstop on all these games. So even when I missed the play, like let's say I missed the under last night, you still would have went 4-0 with those prop plays that I gave out for free. I feel like I'm being very salesy here. That's not what I'm trying to do, but I'm trying to get better at talking about myself when things are going well and not feeling guilty about it for some stupid ass reason. But anyway, all right, I'm just rambling all over the place. So yesterday was a really, really nice day. What was I looking for on Friday night? Just to run through it briefly, because it was kind of a weirder slate, but I did like it. I liked Oregon and Minnesota to go under the total. I did like Clemson. Didn't love them, but saw that it went from 3 to 2.5, which makes me, oddly enough, a little bit more interested in them. Charlotte, Milwaukee over the 238.5 in the NBA. The Heat plus 5.5. And then in college hoops, it was Iowa. I like them minus the 15.5. I thought Kentucky was going to be the biggest blowout of the day after losing to Louisville last week, coming out with a statement game. They can score with the best of them, and even that bench, when it comes in, it's still going to score. And Cal Poly, Montana over the 170.5 was my shootout on Friday night. And Pitt, Nashville over the 6.5 was my NHL play. It is weird, guys. So, like, right now I'm on the NFL and NHL board, the leaderboards, I should say. And I do think football and basketball are two of my best sports. I think baseball has been one of my best sports the past 5 years, and doing it, we talk about, I've mentioned college football bowl games. I don't know what it is about the NHL. I don't think I've had a losing season doing this. And I know there was like Sharp Rank. I've only been betting the NHL for, 6 or 7 years now. But Sharp Rank had me out there as one of the top NHL handicappers in the country, and I can't even tell you everybody that plays on teams. Like, I know enough about hockey. I know the rules. But I honestly think, like with me, when it comes to the NHL, because it's run parallel to basketball, basketball is always going to be at the forefront for me. Played it in college. I coached it, coached AAU. It's just part of me. I love hoops, period. College, women's, men's, it doesn't matter. NBA. I love watching basketball and handicapping it as well. And the NBA has been, like last night, nice night, even though the Cavs didn't hit. I hit the other two games that I liked. In college, I swept college last night, finally a 3-0 night. And it was weird because the Cornell game, I've talked about it. So far, all three Cornell games, I've been on the overs. I'm 2-1. Feel like we got cheated in the one because they had one bad half. Last night, they missed about 20 free throws down the stretch, and you still didn't have to sweat that over. So, but it's kind of interesting just how hockey works out for me. I literally follow the money. I don't bet big favorites. I know a lot of people have success betting big underdogs. That's not my thing in hockey. I bet small favorites at home. Sometimes I do bet big favorites on the road when everybody wants to fade it and they think it's too heavy of a price, because anytime something looks ridiculous to people, those are the games I want to bet. So when you see, what was it? We had a total the other night that was like, I did not bet it because I felt like I had too many games written down. Oh, man, what game was it? But it was like 180 some total in college. And you're like, these two teams? And it went way over the total. I mean, they scored 190 some points in that game. So, it just shows like sometimes as it goes, you're going to have these ebbs and flows. But for whatever reason, I've had winning year after winning year in the NHL. And you'll see I pick one, maybe two games a night if there's two games that I like. There was only one on Friday night. All right, let's get into these games because I got so much to record today and more doctor's appointments, which is always going to be fun. Taking my wife to see Maroon 5 on Sunday. So it's going to be an interesting, busy weekend. All right, let's start it off with Iowa at USC. USC's favored by 6.5. The total's 48.5. I do like the Iowa running back. Oh, God, what's his name? I wrote it down because I knew I was going to forget it. Moulton. I like him over his rushing yards. If that's something you're into, 74.5 rushing yards is what I saw. I like him over that. I would take Iowa plus the points. And honestly, like one of the things that I was using, one of the algorithms liked King, the running back for USC, to go under his rushing yards, which it was a rather large number. But I do think Iowa keeps this game close. I understand the 6.5. I understand what's at hand for USC and the type of bowl game they can get into. But like Iowa is one of those teams, even with that loss last week, they're one of those teams that just, I think they're so well coached that they move from game to game. They're always ready, always well prepared. I think USC wins the game, but I think Iowa covers at plus 6.5. All right. Let's go to Notre Dame at Pitt. Notre Dame's favored by 12.5. 53.5 is the total. You've probably heard this before, but stop me if you have. Take Jadarian Price over his rush yards. Right now, his rush yards are at 53.5. It's one of the prop plays I like. I've said this before. I think Jadarian Price is the best running back in college football. Only problem is he's the backup to Jeremiah Love, who scored a touchdown in every single game this year except the first game against Miami. So I think both of those guys play at the next level, and I think they're both really good. I would take Notre Dame in this spot. I think some people are going to look at it and go, hey, it's too many points to 12.5 on the road at Pitt, and people were talking about Narduzzi, the head coach of Pitt, saying, I don't care how many points they score. It's more about us winning in the ACC, and the fact that they're not an ACC team, this game doesn't mean as much as conference games, which, I mean, he might be right in the grand scheme of things, but, like, what are your goals? Is your goal just to do well in the ACC? Is it to win the ACC? Like, winning the ACC puts you in the college football playoff, which I don't know moving forward that it's going to continue to do that, but we shall see. Let's go to Michigan at Northwestern. Initially, looking at this, Michigan's favored by 12.5. The total is 41.5. This might be the lowest total in college football on the day on Saturday. And initially, I'm looking at it going, oh, is this the Ohio State the next week? And no, it's not. Michigan plays Maryland, and then they play Ohio State. But kind of feel like this could be a great spot for an underplay. I mean, I don't know how Northwestern is scoring here. And you got Michigan, again, on the road. I think Northwestern's defense shows up. They slow them down. But there's a bunch of games like this. Like I was on the Oregon under. I think this under makes a ton of sense. Ironically, like I didn't make this a play. I like Indiana this weekend. It's a big number. But if I was going to play Indiana, I would probably parlay them with the over in that game, which is in like I want to say the upper 40s. I don't have it written down in front of me, so forgive me, but I know it's right around there. But Indiana's like favored by 29.5, and the total's like, 48 or something. So you look at those games going, okay, I'm not saying you have to parlay it, but like if you think about correlation, like if Indiana was going to win that game and it was going to go under the total, they need to have one of these, 41-0, 41-3 type games, which all those games are really possible. With the way that they play, and they don't take their foot off the gas pedal, which is why I would tell you that the over kind of correlates with it. I'm not making that a play, just me kind of my thoughts on this week on Indiana. I do like Indiana. They might end up being a play for me. It's a big number, and I don't typically like betting those, but sometimes you just can't stay away from it because it's the right spot. So yeah, looking at this spot, I would take the under in Michigan at Northwestern. Now, Virginia at Duke. This is one of those games where it falls into that system, right? We talk about unranked teams hosting ranked teams and the unranked team being favored. And it goes back to what I've said before. The people that vote on the top 25 don't know their ass from a hole in the ground. They don't watch these teams. They don't know how good they are. And to be fair to them, it's not easy to measure when people aren't playing a balanced schedule. But I don't think those people pay attention to it because honestly, they're not getting paid. It's just something that they do, like it's an added bonus. It's something cool, like voting on the NFL Hall of Fame where they find one person from each NFL city to kind of cover and present these guys. Those guys end up getting like free tickets to the Super Bowl, but they got to pay their own way to whatever city to go vote on it. It's just kind of a crazy thing, but it seems like it's an honor to do it, which is why these people that vote on the top 25, why aren't you paying attention to all the teams if you're going to do it? If not, just let the computers figure it out because I don't trust these voters, and this is the reason why. Duke, favored by 4.5, 58.5 is the total. Virginia, I haven't been a believer in Virginia all year long. But, it's not like they're an awful team. They've been, look, they're right there in the mix for the ACC. So for me, Duke's the right side of this, taking the unranked team that's favored over the ranked team. They hit it at an amazing clip. And I know we did this with Duke earlier this year and it blew up in our face, but I do think this is the right spot for them. So take Duke minus 4.5 as my freemium. Check out all the premium plays over there, guys. I'm putting up more. Once you guys see this, all my Saturday and Sunday plays will be up. I have most of them up. I just think the NFL card's really difficult. So I put up the couple plays that I loved, and then now I'm working through some of the other plays that I think are good and seeing, how strong I feel about them. I usually try to put up at least 5 NFL plays. I still think I'm going to have 5 on Sunday, but that might be the cutoff unless I start finding an edge somewhere else. It is interesting getting to do some of these daily shows where I get to listen to other people talk about what they think on a game. So that obviously can help open your eyes to another game where you're like, I didn't see that. I wasn't thinking about that. Well, let me look at it from this standpoint. But yeah, I'm going to have all my plays up there. And like I said, I'm coming off of a huge heater, and the NFL has been very, very good to me. College football and the NFL were good to me last week. So you can check out the 3-day pass. I think it's your best bang for your buck if you're trying to get the football plays, all of them. But again, hockey's been good. We got a bunch of college basketball, NBA, and NHL over the weekend. So looking forward to all that. Hope you guys win some cash. I'll see you tomorrow.